I don't want to say too much before Brazil will now be like, okay, so we've been listening to you inside the locker. Let's do 11 mil and see what you have to say. We'll watch and wait, people. We'll watch and wait. Okay, but here's some really good news. So England winger Raheem Sterling, he's returning to the World Cup. So this is going to be before Saturday's quarterfinal against France. So he had to fly back to England, obviously, because there'd been a break-in at his family house back in Surrey. And so we're like, oh no, is this it? Will we see him again? Yes, we will.
Yeah, very happy. Tough character, Ryan Sterling has gone through a lot. And what happened, you've got to respect the man. He cares about his family. Some things are more important than football.
The thing will be on his mind now.
Exactly. Some things are more important than football, and family certainly is more important than football. And he took the decision to go check out on his wife and his 3 children, young children, and it's great. Obviously they're in a better place now. Would have sat down and had a discussion. They would have told him, you have our blessings. You can go back and continue your tournament. And it's a brave man. I like when men show courage and show bravery. And I think it's just fantastic for Raheem Sterling. England will be very happy to have him back because he's one of their very important outlets. They play against France, and it's a game where you feel like England have got to play so well to be able to stand a chance of beating France.
Yeah. When it comes to football in England and France, there's hundreds of years of history.
Yeah, of course.
It's not just football. It's
obviously
the fact that France dances in front of England, has been dancing in front of England and stuffing their nose up in front of them for how long now? This is a grudge match.
It is.
It's a grudge match that brings politics, history, culture, and everything in between.
And that's why we love it. It's not just going to be a football match. It's a game where you know that the fans are going there, with a mindset. It's about the bragging rights. It's about, your league is the best league in the world. But you know what? We're going to show you that we've got better players than you do. And with our country is better than yours. Okay, let's prove it on a football match. So it's that kind of feeling. And games like that gives you that taste in your mouth. And I think it's going to be a cracker.
No. I feel like Tayo, is this when you think England will, what do you think about this? I actually want to hear Tayo's thoughts on this. But speaking about Tayo, he sent in some messages up on WhatsApp saying it's a battle of the French. Oh, he already sent that in. First things first, it's a battle of the French and English, and my lingua is telling me Francois. It's definitely not coming home. Sterling shouldn't have come back. Oh, because you didn't want him to come back and face defeat. Oh, well. And he also says Brazil and Croatia would be tough in my opinion. All right, and this World Cup is World Cupping. Are we gonna have enough time to take this story, or do we need to take a break? All right, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna take a very quick break, so make sure you keep sending your messages in up on WhatsApp 0809 440 981, up on YouTube. Leave a comment using the live chat, and on Twitter hashtag Lockerroom981, and on Insta Live, well, somebody's monitoring it, so we'll see what you have to say up on there. All right, let's take that break, and then we will be right back with more.
Your number one adult contemporary radio station.
Oh, hi, Insta Live. Somebody's hand was there, but it wasn't my hand.
Oh, that's how you laugh when your boss cracks a bad joke.
Hi, y'all. How are you? Oh, wow. My face looks very, very genius level IQ. Netherlands win, Brazil win, France win, Portugal win.
Now, that's how you laugh when you hear complete like that.
Scroll, go. So we have got predictions in from genius level IQ. All the wins.
Brazil, Netherlands, France, Portugal.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
All right. Well,
Is that something about Messi? Just go up.
Okay, let's see. The Spanish team isn't great, if we're being honest. I just need Argentina knocked up today. Okay, what did Argentina do to you?
Messi.
And no hope for Croatia.
I will go straight to Tayo's house to eat sweet jollof.
I feel bad for Croatia. You guys are just.
Enjoy this
You guys have killed Croatia before they even.
It's reality.
My Modric.
Reality.
My Modric. They went all the way last time.
Hi, Morris Monnier. Let me wave at you. Oh, I like this.
What do you want to play out the tournament?
It was mine.
Okay, so let me show you around the. While I have like 30 seconds, let me show you around what's going on in the studio. As you see half of my face, and you see our social media Alex. That's his name. Don't dare call him just Alex. He's social media Alex. What's else? That's the phone that we got YouTube on. This is a very boring studio. I'm trying to. I was like, oh, what else can I show them? This is our logo. Smooth 98.1 FM. Love music and love
You know
life.
what?
That's it, guys.
She's
Oh,
here. She's here.
she's here.
Please,
How do you
I
feel
don't.
this
I
time?
don't want to show.
Oh, no, Alex, take this
I'm
back.
cold. They don't
Oh, we
want
almost
cold. Cold comfort.
And I did it. Studio. All right, here we are back for more. It's 30 minutes gone past 8 o'clock, and this is the locker room where we are getting into how many people have left their positions in as coaches due to the World Cup. Let's take the next victim of the 2022 Qatar World Cup. Luis Enrique has left his role as Spain's boss after they were knocked out of the World Cup by Morocco in the last 16. He took charge of the squad in 2018 and guided Spain to the Euro 2020 semi-finals, where they lost to Italy.
Minimum requirement was quarterfinals, and when you go to the World Cup as Spain 2010 champions, of course, with a very young squad, lots of teenagers in the team, coming in. The minimum requirement would be at least get to the quarterfinals, and when they had Morocco in front of them, it would have felt like it was the easy, fixture to go in. They
You're
lost,
like, guys, we conquered you before now. We can't do this again.
They lost against Japan, and that for me was a red flag. The minute you lose against Japan, and Japan were very athletic, they worked really hard, and Morocco would have just sat down and
other people lost against Japan.
When Morocco would have sat down and studied that clip and said, you know what, we're going to work harder than them. They ran 149 kilometers, and it was almost impossible for Spain to break them down. But for Luis Enrique, he knows what the job is. When you go with the Spanish squad, you cannot be losing in the second round. And Spain have just been unfortunate. They've lost. They've been knocked out of the tournament 3 times on the bounce via penalties in the same stage, and that for me is not the fault of the manager. It's only funny when the manager said, we practiced 1,000 penalties. I told the players to practice 1,000 penalties, and they couldn't score any of the penalties. Lost all 3 penalties, and it's the reality. It's the hazard of the job. It's a result-oriented business, and if you're not performing, we've seen so many managers, like you said, either lose their jobs or resign. We've seen Ghana coach resign. The Mexican coach was very funny, Tata Martino. He said, my job ended the minute the referee gave the final whistle. We've seen some really, really big job. Paulo Bento has left South Korea as well. Lots of managers leaving their job. The Tunisian managers left his job. So many casualties, and Luis Enrique is just the biggest of them.
I'm telling you, this football shame is something else. I don't think there's any kind of shame like football shame. I've never seen it. I remember it happening with with the Africa Cup of Nations with AFCON, and I remember and I see it happening here where you lose and then everybody will just say, okay, gather around. This is going to a governmental level. Let's sit down and discuss how did we get here, people. Do you not know about football diplomacy? Look at us, we're at the bottom now. It is deep.
I mean, sometimes it's really hard to understand. But for Luis Enrique, you would think that, being in the job for a long period of time, going to the World Cup, a couple of World Cups, it wasn't going to happen. It wasn't going to happen if he didn't get, as far as the Spanish team wanted. It was always going to be that issue of, you can't continue. I'm sorry. We have too many football heads in our country. The under 21 coach, Luis de la Fuente, has been appointed in his stead. But Luis Enrique, I'm sure he would go away with a lot of disappointment. He would go away with a lot of frustration. But it is what it is. It's the hazards, and he knows it.
Yeah. If he didn't, he definitely does. All right, let's take a look-see at your messages. Emeka from Mamua up on WhatsApp says, you see the Croatians, their tactic should be launch the ball up front while saying the Lord's Prayer. As for the English, after their long journey, it's France bus stop. Did I get that right? Hey, At this point, I'm English, guys. He also says Luke Shaw should be ready to dance like a ballet dancer when Kylian Mbappe spins him around. Oh my goodness. And Taya says Luis Enrique got fired and some Premier League coaches are still employed. They employed their under 20s coach. Anyway, he can find a club to engage him. Life goes on. All right, we move. It really does go on. So let's get back into things. And Brazil coach Tite says he will not apologize to those who do not know Brazilian history and culture after criticism of his players for dancing after scoring goals at the World Cup.
I just feel like people are just hating. I just feel like it's hating, and I do not understand, and if you watch football for a very long time, you will know that Brazil dancing, singing, it's a culture. It's something they do. So something they've always done, not now, not this generation, the generation before, the one before. They've always been like that. This talk about you're disrespecting your opponent because you're scoring lots of goals and you're dancing and celebrating every goal. The manager is joining in. These guys are just having a party. Give me a break, for God's sake, because I do not understand why all of a sudden everyone is taking a moral stand. You've got to show respect.
Excuse me, when you're the top dog, be prepared to have shots fired.
But I just do not understand. And I totally agree with Tite. He doesn't have to apologize to anyone. I guarantee you, Brazil scored today, they will dance again. It's just something, it's a feel-good factor about them. There's something about Brazilians, even at club level, you see Brazilians don't score goals and don't dance. At club level. That's who they are. That's how they are. That's how they are made. It's their culture. And people should just let them go. I just feel like people are just jealous. I mean, how do you have Vinicius and have Messi and have Neymar and have Rafinha and have Richarlison and have all these superstar players in one team? How do you have that? Like,
Listen,
it's just jealousy.
I'm predicting some extra swollen ankles if you're not talking with all this dancing. That's what I'm going to say. People start taking this. Oh, so you dance like take that. I feel like that can happen again. So just moving on now. All right, so let's talk tennis because Wimbledon looks poised to reverse its ban on Russian and Belarusian players competing next summer after British tennis was slapped with an £823,000 fine. So the Lawn Tennis Association was threatened with expulsion from the ATP Tour after barring male players who hail from the two nations from UK events following Vladimir Putin's invasion of Ukraine. And I'm so glad this happened.
I was so certain that it was going to come to this. I was so certain that it was get to a point where we've got to have a conversation about, the sports stars who are suffering because of a decision of their country leaders, government. It cannot look like fair, because I think it's really unfair.
It's extremely unfair.
It is really unfair that sports people are suffering. Some of them cannot even make an opinion because, they need to be safe, so they cannot even say anything. You cannot think that they are complicit to what is going on in the country, and you cannot make them suffer. Clearly, the sports people, the federations, the football federations, the sports and athletics and all of that wanted to make a statement or wanted to, probably force Putin's hand, but it hasn't worked. And if it hasn't worked, you've got to allow sports people get back and play sports. And I think it's a really good decision. I fancy that, other sports, football, or other, sports will give Russians and Belarusians an opportunity to come back and play the sports they love. They haven't offended anyone, to be honest.
Good. I don't know why I just said that with such emphasis. Let's move on. So, Kazuo Miura, the world's oldest footballer, has signed for a new club to continue his 36-year career. What is he eating?
I do not know. 55 years old. When I saw this story, and I had to go check some videos on YouTube and see how does he run. Does he run in a baby style manner? I just needed to be sure. How does he play? Or like they say, they whine me. I just wanted to be sure. And it just looks like he's taking good care of his body. It just looks like, and like you've got to ask him, what is he eating? Or is he fasting? Or what is he doing?
Yeah, because I remember there was a footballer who said, that he wanted, what was it, basketballer, sports star, who wanted to have longevity in his career. And the first thing somebody told him was start fasting.
Yeah. So I don't know what he's doing, but he's making a real statement. That you can take care of your body and play. May not be playing the most competitive football, but it's showing a Portuguese second division side. It's not the most competitive of leagues, but it's still football being played. It's a competitive league. It's a second division, and it's a very sensational story. I just feel like it is doing almost the impossible. Impossible is nothing really, and I'm really pleased for him. And at some point, he has got to stop. At some point, he has got to stop.
Are you sure? Wasn't there a 74-year-old footballer?
I have no idea.
That was a 70. I think the world's oldest footballer was like 70 something. He at least played.
Goodness gracious.
He turned out for something.
Wow, I don't know how these people do this. And somebody was saying, is he owing people that he needs to make up the money to pay? But I don't think at this point it's about money. I think it's just about
it's a love, man.
He's just enjoying the game, absolutely enjoying the game. If you give Ronaldo, if you give Cristiano Ronaldo, if someone doesn't tell him we got to stop, I think Ronaldo goes for another 5 years.
Ronaldo is like, I can bring that 74-year-old. I would do 86 and counting.
I think Ronaldo goes another 4-5 years playing football, but great story, I think.
Oh, but also, so this is his 15th career transfer. Just putting it out there. Impressive stuff.
It is absolutely.
So hold on. See, now I'm hearing this myself talking about him like this. I'm going to give Ronaldo a break. It's just it just feels like he's throwing tantrums.
Yeah,
it's what it feels like to me when they don't let him on the pitch. But it's like, conserve your body, man. Conserve it and see how far you can go. Or how long
Ronaldo has got to grasp reality. He's got to come to terms with the fact that you can't play 90 minutes anymore. Your body cannot handle that, but he thinks his body can handle it. And Ronaldo is a winner. I understand the frustrations. I understand the tantrums. I understand why he's, suddenly becoming a really not nice guy. Used to be a really nice guy. People liked him, but now, his teammates are looking at him with one eye. Like,
your character is who you are when things don't go your way.
Yeah, he's got to take a chill film.
Words of Chopin. All right. So, real quick, let's talk about this one. So, Paris Saint-Germain president Nasser El-Khelaifi has admitted that he has planned talks with Marcus Rashford over a transfer in January.
Wow, Rashford don't blow. Paris Saint-Germain bringing Qatar money. Wow, it will be incredible. And I'm sure he'll be very happy because he will earn tons of money. And, Rashford is 25, 26, and what massive contract at Paris Saint-Germain, you know that you're sorted for another 40 years, you'll be fine. But from the football point of view, I think that it might be great for him to go away from his country. I always think that English players are very, scared of leaving their country. English people generally, they love their culture, they love their food, they love their football. When you tell an Englishman to go abroad, it's a hard one for him. And I'm wondering if it's something he would like to take. It's a huge challenge for him. And it would be great to see Rashford play in Paris, go to another country, go to another city, just see how the life is, whether he's got the skin, the toughness to do that. We shall see, but should be a good one.
Marcus Rashford, think about how he's been treated in the UK and all the stuff that he's done and how he grew up and how he's paid it back.
It would help him. It would help him get away from it, get away from the British media, give them something else to talk about. Just go on with your life, play your football, and
sharpen their clothes on someone else.
I just think that he needs that level of concentration, getting away from English football. It would be great for him, I think.
All right, let's end the show with your messages. So we got this one in. Mosh from Ikeja says, I'm happy for Brittany and her family. If any of us had our families in a strange land, we would want them back and would disregard the cost of getting them back. I wish my own country can go all out for any of us too. I'm looking forward to the QF matches. And Chimalbi Victor from Alaba International says, Ronaldo Chukma should wake up to reality, because his character is annoying most of his fans. Shopper, please call him to order. Yes, sir. I think I did. He also says, wishing the Netherlands the very best of luck against Argentina. I believe they can do it. If Morocco can do it against Spain, we would do it against Argentina. Bro, Senior Bong, we need to support us. Okay. I guess they're the only ones that we can support at this point. So why not?
Of course.
Let's see this one in from Tayo says Ronaldo should enjoy his football like that old timer. Life is simple. Not all the time collecting silent treatment with coaches and sitting down with Piers Morgan. Thank you. Thank you. On that note, we end the show, man. All right, so let's take it over to Twitter where Amy is.
Oh yeah, on Monday _ in your ball.
Yes. And I am at Shopper Martins. I won't be talking sports with you. That one is for Amy. If you send any sports messages my way, I direct them to Amy. Straight. All right, coming up, 9 o'clock in Lagos, you will be talking. All right.
Thank you so much.
Have a great weekend.
And you too.